Yeah, fine. Then yesterday we had covered polymorphism. What is polymorphism? One action we can perform in many ways. So we have two types of polymorphism. One is compile time polymorphism, that is method overloading. Another one is runtime polymorphism, that is method overriding. So this is the dynamic polymorphism. So we have two names here, compile time and static polymorphism. So compile time means it will check compiler in compilation time itself. So method overriding is the right runtime polymorphism. It will check while executing. So this one identified by compiler, that one while executing JVM will take care. Runtime polymorphism. So and also for method overloading, how we can achieve method overloading? Having the method in same class and name should be the same. Only thing is parameters should be different. So method name, return type, everything should be the same. The only difference is parameters should have the different parameters. Then only that concept we can call it as a method overloading. Already we saw so many examples on that. Now we are going to discuss about method overriding. So method overriding means here the method name should be same. So conditions for method overriding. First point is method name should be same. Second point, parameters also should be same. But in method overloading, parameters are different. Name should be the same. Here also name should be the same. Parameters should also be the same. And third point, method overloading we defined in a same class. For method overriding, we need child class, parent and child class. Here, whatever the method we are defining in the parent class, that we can extend with the help of inheritance. We can extend and we can define the same method in the child class. This is the method overriding. So these three conditions you have to remember. Yesterday we have these three conditions, right? Same class, same name, different parameters. Here same, not the same classes, different classes. Method name should be the same, parameters also be the same. So here argument are different, here classes are the different. That is the difference. So we'll, and also you have to remember this point, to achieve method overriding, you need inheritance. Without inheritance, you cannot achieve the, already I think we discussed it, right? One day we have two advantages for the inheritance. One is the code reusability we mentioned, and second point we mentioned method overriding. So in interviews they will ask what are the advantages of inheritance means, you can explain this one. One is the code reusing and another one is to achieve the method overriding. So don't confuse here method overloading and overriding. Just remember these three conditions. Then you can explain. We can see the example. Someone admitted, right? And also please join on time. It's 7 o'clock I mentioned, but you guys are taking to join up to 7:15. Some people are joining on time. So everyone waiting for others. So we are wasting others' time. Whoever joining late. I will create one new class here. How to create a class? Right click on this package, new class. So here I will give you some real-time example. For example, I have one vehicle class. Here I will define one method, public void. So method signature you have to remember. Access modifier, return type. Here void means no return. So vehicle, I have one method called start. So every vehicle after start only, right? So it will try to move. So just I am printing sys out. So message will be vehicle started. Oh, in you think this one. So every vehicle after start only it will try to move forward. Correct, right? So here we are defining this method in vehicle class. So vehicle is the category. Under the category we have many vehicles, many types. For example, car, bus, jeep, bike, those things. Here what I can do, I will create a, so to achieve method overriding, I mentioned, right, we need a parent and child class. So vehicle is the parent class. I am going to create a child class now. New class. For example, I am taking car. And one more point you have to remember, to achieve the method overriding, you have to use inheritance. How we can achieve inheritance? With the help of extends keyword vehicle. And what is the next conditions? We should use the same method name and same parameters. So in this method we don't have any parameter, but we have to define the same thing. Vehicle at I will tell you that annotation also yet override. So here why we are going to use means I will tell you this when to use this one, when and what is the purpose of this annotation also. As of now we can test this one. So for testing I am going to create a new class test car. I need a main method. So how to call that car method? need to create a object for car class. So car equal to new car. So there is no constructor was available in car class. This constructor was providing by JVM. By defaultly, it will provide if there is no constructor means. Then you can see here car dot start. I can so car started. Here you are thinking why that vehicle method not printed. So here we have here vehicle, right? System dot out dot print vehicle but this message it's not printed, only car started it is printed. Here what we are doing means we are overriding. Overriding means this method logic we are not using. So I have here vehicle started, right? This method logic I am not using, just I am overriding instead of that method. So same method behavior I am using. So method name and parameters, here I not used any parameters, method name, those things just I am overriding. For example, I will pass here one parameter string message. You can see what error this one. Create a start method in the super class. So I don't have any parameter method here. Correct, right? But it is giving error. So it's not there. Now we are not using this method overriding. We are creating new method like that only. If I remove this means now you can see here. Now you can see there is no error because this method is different. This method is also different. Previously, I used overriding. So now you can able to understand what is the purpose of the overriding. To achieve that method overriding principle, we have to use that overriding annotation. If you are not using means it is not a mandatory. For example, I don't have this parameter. It is not a mandatory to use. But to achieve that overriding, so someone is coming and they are changing this one. If you are not using this annotation means, then we cannot able to achieve right that overriding concept. So overriding means here we are reusing this method, but we are changing the logic. Instead of this implementation, we are writing our own logic here. Clear, right? Method overriding and what is the purpose of the annotation? This is not a mandatory one, but to achieve that method overriding, we need to define. See, after 1 week or 2 months, this code is going to change by some other. If you are not providing this overriding annotation, then that programmer will think he's not using here overriding concept, so I can change this method like that. And also we can reuse that method in multiple classes. So we defined in one place, so we can reuse in multiple classes. For example, I have car, right? Similarly, I can create for bus also. So how to achieve that method overriding means we have to extend vehicle class. Then same method, I am going to define public void start system.println plus started. Now how can I test this one? How we tested here? Hello.
So we need to create a object, then we need to call it.
So I can able to create new class or in this main method only I am creating. So equal to new bus and bus dot start run as a Java application. Bus started. So here you have to remember main thing like a method overriding equal to first thing we need inheritance plus same method name plus same parameters. We'll see one example with the parameters. So to achieve method overriding, we need inheritance, then same method name, same parameter. And also classes will be the difference. For example, I am creating. So string is the stop. One method name is stop. Here I am passing string so message. So here I am using return type now, then it will accept a return statement. So this message I am going to return. Now first we will see in the car, we can override that method. Public string stop, then string message. So this is already we have the same method there, so we no need to provide. To achieve that method overriding principle, then we need this annotation. Now here car dot start. So stop means when we are going to stop after applying brakes only, right? So we just you can define brake applied. Now I will just try to print. But it is not printed. Brake applied. Need to print, right? Why it is not printed? Can anyone?
Don't have an output statement here.
we not given output statement. So how we can give? We can directly give here itself. Otherwise, just we can define this one like what is the return type of this one. Just we can define. We can give here variable name. So reference name to print this one. Then sys out that message. Now we can see this one. So break applied. If I add another parameter here means why the error? Because it is not a method overriding. So you are defining new method. Now it will accept. Clear, right? Method overriding concept. Yesterday's programs practiced, completed. So similarly, you can do here with arithmetic operations. Those things also you can do. We'll give you those things homeworks. So method overloading and overriding. Clear, right? If you are clear means I will start the topic abstraction. So remember like this one, like a formula. Next topic is abstraction. So abstraction is nothing but hiding the internal details, implementation details, and showing the essential functionality to the users. So meaning of this abstraction means, and definition also, hiding the internal implementation details and showing the essential functionalities to the users or essential features, anything. So abstraction is nothing but hiding the internal implementation details and showing the functionalities. So to achieve this abstraction, how we can achieve this abstraction means so to achieve abstraction we need here two things. One is the abstract class. So this is the abstract keyword. I will explain you. Abstract class and interface. So both are very important topics. Abstract class and interface. Very important. Definitely we will get one question on this in interview also. And also in real time also we are using interface or abstract classes based on our requirements we will use most of the times we will use this. So before discussing abstract class, first we should know what is abstract keyword. So this is we have different types of keywords in Java, right? For example, we saw this keyword, super keyword, and abstract is also one of the keyword. In the upcoming sessions, we are going to see two more new keywords, static and final keyword. So this abstract keyword is a non-access modifier, non-access modifier used to achieve abstraction, used to achieve abstraction. So you have to remember, I think in the pillars we are going to cover, this is the third topic. How many pillars we have in OOPS? Four pillars we have. Inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. This is the third topic. Already we covered the inheritance. Inheritance means acquiring the properties and behavior of the another object or parent object. Then next is a polymorphism. Polymorphism means general meaning, many forms. So one action we are performing in many ways or many forms. We saw method overloading and overriding. So same action we are performing in different ways. Correct, right? Similarly, hiding this one abstraction, hiding the internal implementation details and showing the essential features to the users or essential functionalities to the user. Then how we can achieve abstraction? We can achieve by using abstract class and interface. Abstract class and interface. So what is abstract keyword means? It is an access modifier which is used to achieve the abstraction. So the abstract keyword can be used with, we can use abstract keyword with, used with class and method. Class and method. So abstract keyword, we will have abstract class and abstract method. Abstract variables we don't have. So static variable we have. So final keyword, static keyword we can use with variables. So we can create a classes also. And we can create a methods as well. But abstract, we can create only the class and method. We can use this abstract keyword with, so if we are using, normally we are defining, right? Like this is one class, right? Public class, test class. If I use here abstract keyword means it will become abstract class. Abstract. Now it is the abstract class. Now we will discuss what is abstract class, what it will contain. So first point already we saw how we can declare abstract class by using abstract keyword. By using abstract keyword, first thing, first point, you remember this one. How we can create a abstract class means by using abstract keyword, and then what the abstract class contains. It contains abstract methods. So remember like points. How we can create abstract class means by using abstract keyword. What abstract class contains? Contains abstract methods and then concrete methods. So there is a difference between abstract method and a concrete methods. Whatever the methods we are defining, right? That methods we can call it as a concrete methods. As of now, we are working, right? Those things all are concrete methods. The difference is abstract methods will not have the body. Concrete method will have the body. And in abstract class, we can define abstract methods, concrete methods, variables, constructors. So there is a one important question is here. What is the difference between abstract class and interface? That time you have to explain all these points. So variables, constructor, fifth one, static and final methods also possible. And we cannot create a object for this abstract class. Cannot create the object for this point. We will check one important. I think for interface we cannot create a, but abstraction we will see practically we can create or not. This point will confirm. So we'll see this point. Don't worry. Can check and confirm. So here abstract method. So you should know the abstract method also. Here abstract method will be the method doesn't have any body, and if we don't have any body means we have to implement by it's a subclass. So subclass means for example you are defining a parent class or the abstract class, then you are extending this class in the child class, that in that place it should must and should override that one. Now you so in abstraction we are using inheritance concept and method overriding concept as well. So first of all, what is abstract method means? we are going to define abstract method with the help of abstract keyword. Similarly, we are defined right abstract class. We are going to define abstract class by using abstract keyword. Similarly, abstract keyword need to define the method. Otherwise, if you are not using abstract keyword means it is not the abstract method. It will become concrete method. If you are using abstract keyword means then that particular method it will not provide the method body. We'll check everything in Eclipse. Abstract keyword should be used to define the abstract method. So here you can see we have the different kinds of methods, different types of methods. Method with return type, without return type, method with the different parameters, and also this abstract method, static method, final method. I will give you overview everything, how many types of methods we have after finishing that static and final keyword. Abstract keyword should be used to define the abstract method. This is the first point. And second point, abstract method does not have the body. So body means here method body. And third point, it must be implemented by, so this abstract method must be implemented by subclasses, because here in the abstract method just you are defining that method declaration, you are declaring the method, you don't have any logic. That is the meaning here. Abstraction meaning hiding the internal implementation details. Here you are hiding the declarations, and in the subclasses you are overriding that one. There you are defining your logic. It must be implemented by subclasses. So syntax for this, for abstract method syntax, how the normal method will be access modifier, right? Access modifier. Then we have return type, return type. Then we have method name, method name. Finally, we have parentheses, and inside the parentheses we have list of arguments. That is depends on our logic. List of arguments, and also we have to use here abstract keyword. So similarly, concrete method means method body will be there and there is no abstract keyword. For abstract methods, there is no body. Like this only. We are defining this method in the abstract class. We are overriding this class, abstract class in child classes. Then we are defining our logic there. So abstract method where we can define means we can define inside the abstract class as well as in interface also. And also it mustn't should override in subclasses. Already we discussed. And we cannot use abstract methods with private final static. We should not define that methods. Abstract methods shouldn't have private methods, static method and final methods. So abstract class contain abstract method, concrete method, variables, constructor, static and final methods also. And this point we will check cannot be instantiate or object something is there. I will while practical we will check and confirm that one. So remember this one. For example, I am defining one new class called so which example we can take? Can we take animal as a class? So just I am defining animal. So you can see here also we can change these things as well. If I use like this also I can use. Otherwise I can define here public abstract. So we can able to create a constructor. Already we defined, right? But interface we cannot able to create a constructor. So we can define abstract methods, concrete methods, variables, static and final methods, everything. And how to define abstract method here? For example, abstract. So by defining abstract method, I need a abstract keyword. So I will define here, for example, void sound. Now this is the default method. If I use a public keyword means it will become public method. So if you are not defining any access modifier means that will consider as a default method. Default method, the scope will be within a package only. Now what we mentioned to achieve abstraction, we are going to define abstract methods here. So here I don't have any implementations. See without this abstract keyword, then add body or change animal dot sound to abstract method. Clear, right? Abstract method doesn't have the body. Then new class called dog. Here I will extend animal. So this is inside the polymorphism package only. Now you see it got a error. Add a unimplement methods, because we mentioned right here the point abstract class. So abstract method, right? We are discussing about now. Abstract class already we defined. So abstract keyword should be used to define the abstract method. Abstract method doesn't have body, so two principles achieved. It must be implemented by the subclasses. So this is the subclass, right? Animal is the parent class. This is the child class. Here we have to implement. Just you can click. You can see here we achieved a method overriding also. So system dot out dot println dog is barking. Now any doubt? Moves. Hello. Hello moves. Are you there? Now we defined sound method and we are going to achieve. So you can see here we defined the abstract keyword. So in which class? Animal class. Animal class is the abstract class. It contains a abstract method. For example, we mentioned one more thing. Abstract methods we are defining in abstract classes only. We'll try to define here. We'll check it is accepting or not. Abstract just void. So just method name I am giving message. See here. We mentioned right. We are going to define abstract methods in abstract classes or interfaces. Now this is a normal class, right? This is not a abstract class. I am trying to defining abstract method here. Then it is throwing error for me. Make a type dog as a abstract or remove the abstract keyword. Clear, right? Where to define abstract methods? Now we are going to test this one. New class test dog. So main method. So how can I test that method? By creating dog is an object equal to new dog. Now dog dot sound method. Run as a Java application. Dog is barking. Now we'll check that one for animal class. We can create a object or not. See, this is anonymous type. This is as of now not required, but I will remove this constructor as well. Only we have abstract method. You can see how this is not a object then. It looks like a object, but you can see it got a body. So we it we cannot call it as a object. It's a anonymous inner type. We will call it as of now. It's not required. I will explain you this one in Java 8 features. Just you can try like this, then it is accepting or not. So cannot instantiate the type animal. So we cannot create a object for the abstract class. So this is a important point. You have to explain in interview also what is the difference between abstract class and interface means. This point you must and should explain them. Now we will look into the interface. Then we can see the differences. What is the main differences between abstract class and interface? Now up to this, we will learn how to create a abstract class, how to create a abstract method, and how we can override it. So in the abstraction, we are using two concepts here. One is the inheritance concept, another one is the method overriding. You can see all topics are interlinking. If you know the first topics, then later, so these topics, upcoming topics, you can understand easily. Otherwise, you may get confusions. Now, first I am explaining for you before explaining polymorphism, those things. You may get confused, right? What is this overriding, those things, and what is the inheritance? You may get confused. So here all topics are interlinking. Now we can see the interface. Interface. So here what is interface means? Like similarly, how we define abstract class with the help of a abstract keyword. For interface also, we have to use the interface keyword to define the interface. There is a difference between interface, abstract class, and normal class we have. First, we will see the interface. Then we can see the difference between abstract class and interface. Then we can see the difference between the three: abstract class, normal class, interface. First, what is interface means? To define the interface, we should use a interface keyword. This is the first point. Interface keyword is required to define the interface. This also look like a class only, but small difference is there. And interface will have it, interface will have only abstract methods. So abstract method will have concrete methods as well, static and final methods as well, variables also, constructors also. This many things have, but interface will have only abstract method. This is up to Java 7 only. So if you have the JDK 7 means that JDK 7 will support only the abstract methods in the interface. Lateral in the Java 8, they introduced two more new methods. So they provided access for this. For the interface, we can add another two types of methods also. That is default and static methods. Default and static methods. And in Java 9, they also introduced private methods. So in up to Java 7, it will support only abstract methods. In Java 8, they introduced new two more methods, default and static method. In Java 9, one more methods they introduced, private methods. And you can see here we cannot create a variables here, but in constructor we can create a variables. And also we cannot create the cannot create a variables. So here static variables. Method level you can define instance variables, class level variables. Those things cannot create a variables. That is a instance variables you can mention. Instance variables and constructors also. And similarly, object also we cannot create. So the difference between here, abstract class have abstract methods, concrete methods, variables, constructors, static and final methods as well. And we cannot create a object for that. And interface will have only abstract methods up to Java 7. In Java 8 and Java 9, they introduced new methods. And interface doesn't have instance variables, constructors, and we cannot create a object also. This points you can explain what is the difference between abstract class and interface means. This is very important question. 90% chance will be there. So in interview they will ask. And normal class. Normal class. What is the difference between abstract class and normal class? Normal class will have only concrete methods. Correct, right? And we can create a object also. Then we will have constructors, instance variables, static variables, everything will be there. Abstract methods we cannot create in normal classes. And one more important topic here, when to use abstract class and interface. When to use abstract class and interface. So interface to achieve, if you want a full abstraction. For example, we have Java 7, right? In Java 7, we will have only abstract method. Abstract method means there is a no body. Only method declaration will be there. There is no method body. So to achieve this full abstraction, so what is the abstraction meaning? Hiding the internal implementation details and showing the functionalities. To achieve the full abstraction, we will use a interface. Interface is used to achieve full abstraction. And one more point, multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance. One day we discussed, right? Multiple inheritance we cannot achieve with the help of normal classes because it will create a ambiguity. Diamond problem it will create. But with the help of inheritance, we can achieve. We'll see this one practical example. And another point is, so here now we are discussing this one, when to use abstract class and interface, on which scenarios we are going to choose, when to choose abstract class, when to choose interface. So contract between, so to achieve full abstraction, 100% abstraction, we will use interface, and also to achieve multiple inheritance. And one more point, contract between unrelated classes, we can use interface. This contract means, for example, you have fly is one method. You can think fly is one method. So fly, who can fly? Humans cannot fly. So aeroplanes, helicopters, vehicles can fly. Correct, right? And also bots can fly. So bots is one category. Vehicle is one category. These all are unrelated. So bots comes under one category. Vehicle comes under one category, right? So this is the unrelated things. That time, so but the behavior is same. So fly, bots can fly, vehicle, aeroplane, helicopters, those things also will fly, right? So here behavior is same, but the category is the different. That time we can choose the interfaces. But when comes to abstraction, when to use means abstraction, the behavior and category should be the same. That is the difference here. Unrelated concrete contract between unrelated classes. So vehicle comes under different category, words comes under different category. There is a different concepts there. So this is that one, contract between unrelated classes. We can use the interface. So similarly, we can use the abstract class. We are sharing the same behaviors within the same category. Now itself we saw one example here. So animal is the one category. Inside the animal we have dog, cat, lion. Every animal can sound, right. That time I can choose the abstract class and I can override that method. Then I will write my own logic there. So these 2 points belongs to interface. Here another 2 points, need to share a common code. Share the common methods or common code between related classes. So here animal classes will comes into one category, right. Related classes use the abstract class. And one more point, you can remember this point also. This also looks like similar only. Common behavior plus default implementations. Default implementations. We can choose the abstract classes. Default implementation means abstract classes will have these things also, right. Concrete methods. There we can, in concrete methods, we can define our logic. If that same logic I'm going to reuse in the child classes, means that time I can choose abstract class as well. So these points you can remember. So very important today's class, because there is a 90 to 100% chance will be there to get in the interview also, interview point also. These questions: what is abstraction? what is how we can achieve abstraction with the help of a abstract class and a interface. What is the difference between abstract class and interface and normal class? Those things. And when to use a abstract class, when to use a interface. Remember all these things. I will provide you document also in today's class for polymorphism and abstraction. Just now I will show you how to create a interface, then we can wind up. Tomorrow I will give you some more examples on abstraction, real-time interview related, those things. New, see, we cannot use here class. We have to use here interface. So here I am defining one interface here. For example, just you can take a board. See, for class, there is a class keyword, but for interface, there is a interface keyword. So default method I am providing void fly. So this one I am changing to Java 1.7. So we mentioned right in Java 8 they defined so this is the default module. This is not required for me. Now I am trying to create a default method. And also we have to remember here one important point. For abstract method, we mentioned we have to use the abstract keyword, but here I am not used it, right? You can see here I am not used it. Just a return type I used it, default method I used it. So in interface, by defaultly, if you are defining any method, it will consider as a abstract method only. That time we no need to provide. But in the abstract class, we have to provide. You can see. But in interface, no need. So here body is the interface. Naming conventions for class and abstract class, everything same. Start with capital letter and camel case. So here I no need to define. Why? Because by defaultly compiler will understand this is the interface, then not required this abstract keyword. Now I am trying to define void just sound. So bots also will make sound, right? Now this becomes a sits out just some message. Now we can see the error here. Remove the method body. Abstract methods doesn't specify the body because by defaultly interface contains abstract methods. Now I will change to so up to 1.7 I mentioned, right? Properties. Just I will change to 1.8. Change the sound to default or static method. Remove the otherwise remove the method body. 3 quick fixes available. So default or a static method. Now you can see it will accept. But before Java 7, only it will accept abstract methods. In Java 8, they introduced default methods and static methods. Now I will make this one to private. Now also error. Now again I will change here to Java 9. Now you can see this warning is it is telling we not used inside this interface anywhere. Just we define like that. No problem. But you can remember this one private. So if I change to Java 8 means then it won't support. So clear, right? How to create a interface, and interface contains abstract methods. Then no need to define this abstract keyword. By defaultly, interface will this compiler will identify interface will have abstract methods only like that. Now, how we can test this one? How we can reuse that methods? Here one for class we are using extends keywords. I'm going to create a new class called tell me any bot name. There. Oh, already left some 3 or 4 peoples.
Eagle.
Pikaka.
Eagle.
Eagle. Now I will try to use extends keyword. You can see here already we have right, but this is the interface, but it is not showing. So how we can achieve means we have to use the implements. Now you can see we got the error because abstract method we have to implement here. So you have to remember this one like truth tables we have, right? Similarly, you have to remember. So class means where extend we can use extends keyword. Extends keyword. Interface class means we have to use implements keyword. Interface also we can use, but here you have to use extends keyword. If the same category means same class means you can use extends keyword. Here also interface means you can use extends keyword. If it is a class and interface means you have to implement keyword. You can remember these things also. So this out here eagle. Eagle is flying. So to test this one, new class eagle eagle test. So how can I call that method? I will create a eagle class object eagle dot fly, run as a Java application. Now we will try to create a object for interface. You can see here also not possible. We cannot create a object. With the help of we can create this one. So this is also some. So this is the child class, right? For this we can create. We created object, but reference is the board, then eagle. Here now you can see here with the help of what are the methods I will get here. So I will get a bot methods. So you can see sound method also. These all are object methods. So fly is the bot method. Sound is the bot methods. So like this they will create. But object we created for eagle only, not for the bot class. But we can access these methods. So this is also one tricky question in interviews. They will create like this object, then they will ask this pod will refer which class methods like that. So this is one as of now not required. Once you get familiar, you can check this one. Everything means you will forget. So I will send you this one. You can practice. Tomorrow we can connect. We'll see some more examples on abstraction. Then we can start the new topic encapsulation. What happened nowadays? People are strength is very less. Previously, 20 plus members are joining. And also, some people are expecting in Telugu also, but you should learn English also. This is important in IT. 50% your communication only. They will check your communication. If you are unable to speak, means you cannot survive. So mostly I won't recommend Telugu.